Welcome to the SportsCenter podcast, hosted by the 2018 Nebraska Sportscaster of the Year, Dustyn Stortzum. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the SportsCenter podcast. You guys can listen to today's podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor.fm. If you want to see the visual version of this podcast, head on over to my YouTube channel at Dustyn Stortzum. Today in the news, let's start off with our opening headline. Out of the Democratic Party, Joe Biden sweeps again, and is Bernie starting to feel the burn to drop out? Joe Biden sweeps yesterday's primaries of Illinois, Arizona, and Florida. He now has 1,173 delegates and needs 1,991 to win. Sanders at 881. A lot of pressure falling on Bernie Sanders now as he starts to fall behind here in the Democratic primaries. Remember 2016, when he was behind against Hillary Clinton and he just drug it out and his supporters called for him to drop out, and he continued to go down this path where he knows he's going to lose, but yet he won't drop out. He consistently takes donations and whatnot. But with the coronavirus now here, and this is affecting voting in some states, does this draw more pressure on Bernie Sanders to drop out? One of his campaign managers sent out an email last night to supporters saying that there was no sugarcoating last night's results and that Bernie Sanders will reassess his campaign in the next coming days. Now, reports coming out of Breaking 911 on Twitter saying that Bernie Sanders has suspended all Facebook ads. Mike Bloomberg, maybe take some advice from that. But anyways, yes, Bernie Sanders now trailing. He will reassess his campaign according to multiple news outlets as of this morning. Some more breaking news coming out on Twitter last night was that Oprah Winfrey was actually arrested on sex trafficking charges. Now, this came out to be false. Oprah Winfrey took to Twitter saying this: "Just got a phone call that my name is trending and being trolled for some awful fake things. It's not true. Haven't been raided or arrested. Just sanitizing and self-distancing with the rest of the world. Stay safe, everybody." Now, this group that posted this fake rumor was by a small group of individual people called QAnon. They claim that her house in Florida was seized and roped off with red tape. They also came out with a report that included the names of Charles Barkley, Tom Hanks, and Rita Wilson, saying that they were involved in a sex trafficking business. This has all come out to be false. So definitely happy that Oprah Winfrey was not arrested and there's no sex trafficking going on, because that would lead to some serious criminal stuff going on there. So really happy that none of that is real. But she was trending on Twitter for quite a while yesterday evening. Some reports coming out of Oregon saying that people are calling the police because they ran out of toilet paper. The Newport, Oregon Police Department took to Twitter saying, "It's hard to believe that we have to post this. Do not call 911 just because you ran out of toilet paper." Seamen, people who catch fish, they use old rope and anchor line soaked in salt water. Ancient Romans used a sea sponge on a stick, also soaked in salt water. They suggested, "We are a coastal town. We have an abundance of salt water available, and seashells can also be found. Please, guys, the police, our fire EMS, we have better things to worry about than getting you toilet paper. Police officers cannot go out and get you toilet paper, okay? You should have stocked up like everybody else. Everybody else is stocked up. Maybe not the elderly, but people who have a very low chance of dying from the coronavirus seem to think that toilet paper is way more important than, non-perishable food items and, different essentials for the house. But toilet paper, hey, we might die, but at least we got clean butts. I don't know what to tell you guys. The whole toilet paper thing it drives me the wrong way, because there's so many other things that we could use when the end of the world is happening and we decide as American people that we're going to hoard toilet paper. Doesn't make any sense to me. If you run out of toilet paper, take a shower. Go take a shower. Go. There's leaves. Okay, there might not be leaves. That might not be the most comfortable thing because we got dead leaves on the ground and whatnot. But come on, man. You got to shower. Turn the shower on. Wipe your booty. And call it a day. All right? You don't need toilet paper like that. If worse comes to worse, you can find other things. Get an old magazine. I'm sure you have an old magazine on the back of the toilet that you can use, that you read. I don't know. But the whole toilet paper thing has to stop. We've got to stop right here with the toilet paper stuff. Heading on over into the sports world, I know it doesn't seem like there's much news going on, but boy, oh boy, do we have a lot of news going on. Just late yesterday and early morning here today, Wednesday. The first news coming out of Jacksonville, the Jaguars have traded Super Bowl quarterback Nick Foles to the Chicago Bears for a 4th-round pick. The Jaguars now put their faith into second-year quarterback Gardner Minshew, who threw for 3,271 yards last season and 21 touchdowns. The Bears will now have the quarterback battle between Nick Foles and Mitchell Trubisky. Trubisky, remember, had surgery back in January to repair that torn labrum that he suffered in his left shoulder, but is expected to be ready for training camp in July. So we will see. I'm getting major Jay Cutler vibes with Nick Foles in Chicago. I think Nick Foles will win the job over Mitch Trubisky for some reason. I got this vibe, but he's just sending me Jay Cutler vibes. When I see him in a Bears jersey, I've seen some Photoshop pictures on social media. He's giving me a Jay Cutler vibe. It's a huge contract. I think between Blake Bortles and Nick Foles, the Jaguars will eat $35.25 million in contract money. So I don't know. The Jaguars could have handled their money a little better. They didn't need to give Nick Foles that huge contract that he got, but they are eating a lot of that guaranteed money. So the Bears won't be paying up as much as they would initially need to. Going back into the coronavirus, Kevin Durant and 3 other Brooklyn Nets players have tested positive for corona. Durant took to social media on Tuesday saying, "Everyone be careful, take care of yourself, and quarantine." This whole NBA players getting coronavirus tests before actual sick people who are showing symptoms of coronavirus is absolute bullcrap. They're the normal people, everyday people, normal everyday people. They have to take questionnaires. If they get tested positive for the flu, they don't even test for coronavirus. And we have NBA players who show zero symptoms of the coronavirus, and they get tested. Now, I'm wishing them all the best. I hope Kevin Durant gets better. I don't know who the other 3 NBA players are. There is some speculation that one of them is Spencer Dinwiddie. I have no idea. I have not seen any other reports on social media saying who has it, who doesn't. But wishing Kevin Durant the best. But, I mean, seriously, we have everyday humans who are showing symptoms of having coronavirus and they can't get a test. But NBA players who show zero symptoms and are asymptomatic get tests. It's just, the rich get richer, I suppose, but I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough situation because I understand they have the money, they get the benefits of that, but I mean, there's people who are literally fighting for their lives who don't even know exactly what they have. So that's just my opinion. You guys can have your own. Tom Brady, 43-year-old quarterback, 6-time Super Bowl champion, will sign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their Super Bowl odds have moved from 40-1 now down to 22-1. I don't understand it. 43-year-old quarterback throws check down passes, is a system quarterback. You expect him to succeed in Tampa Bay. Now he does have some offensive weapons. He had the same QBR last season as Jameis Winston. I don't see how a 43-year-old quarterback who doesn't have a great arm and throws check down passes moves their Super Bowl odds from 40-1 down to 22-1. I don't understand it. Maybe I should bring an NFL expert in because I'm no NFL expert, to say the least. I would think if I'm an expert in anything, it would be baseball, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Getting out of the same conference as Patrick Mahomes is probably makes you feel a little better about yourself. But interesting. I think that Tampa Bay will be competitive. I don't think Tom Brady gets them to a Super Bowl, though. That's my personal opinion. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Sports Center podcast. Appreciate you guys watching today, and we will see you again tomorrow. See you later.